Does hard work really guarantee success? Because I don't know about you, but growing up, I always used to think the harder you work, the more money you'll make. But then I see these young kids making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars every single month, but they're still just whipping around in their Lamborghinis, in their Ferraris, their Porsches, etc. Doesn't really look like they're putting in 16 or 20-hour work shifts. So what is the real answer to the question of does hard work equal success? Well, I've done some digging. I've consulted loads of different books throughout my time, seen podcasts from multimillionaires, and I've come down to a 4-step formula that guarantees success. Hard work plus skill plus leverage plus luck, a combination of those 4 factors equal your success. What do I mean by this? Well, skill is skill. Everyone understands skill, right? Like I could 1v1 Steph Curry in a 3-point contest. Unless something goes drastically wrong, Steph Curry's winning that 3-point contest. He's got more skill than me. Then hard work comes into the equation. How much effort you really put in. Leverage basically means how much of an uphand you've got on your opponents. Like if you, for example, going for a job interview and your dad is the CEO of the company, there's a good chance you're going to get the job over someone else. That's leverage you have in the industry. And then luck is luck. Luck is something we can't determine, right? People say luck doesn't exist. I disagree. Luck does exist to an extent. Obviously, other factors can influence you and put an effect on you succeeding or not succeeding. But there's always luck. There's always timing. You went for a job interview at the perfect time the company was needing a job. You entered the AI space at the perfect time that AI is booming. You exited Bitcoin a day before it crashed by 50% or 20% of its value. The point is there's always an element of luck at play. But the combination of those 4 factors, hard work, skill, leverage, and luck, will determine how successful you're going to be. Here's the interesting thing. Luck, you cannot determine. It's one of those things. It's a wild card of the 4. It's a joker in the pack. Leverage, you can help, but when you start out, it's hard to get leverage. Leverage comes from either your upbringing, you come from a wealthy family that's got money, that's got connections, or you come like me from state schools, etc., where you don't have those connections. Or other leverage is building up different factors of your life. Like for example, I built up my personal brand now that when people come to me, I've got leverage. If they want to do a promo on this channel, they have to pay me multiple $1,000s to do promos. When people come to me, I've got leverage. I've got a personal brand. That's an asset. Everyone has different sorts of leverage. Your other leverage might be that if you're a basketball player, you're 7 foot tall, for example, massive leverage over someone being 5'10", something along those lines. So everyone has some sort of leverage, some sort of unfair advantage that comes into the equation. Then we've got skill. Now, skill is one of those things that a lot of people have, a lot of people don't have. And hard work brings you towards that skill, right? Like I'm not good at coding, but if I put in 10 hours every single day for the next 4 months, I will become a pretty good coder by the end of it. On the other hand, someone that's already good at coding, if they also put in 10 hours, same like me, they're going to stay and continue to be better than me, right? So where you are with skill is basically like your starting point. Like you might start on level 4, whereas I start on level 1, for example, or you might start on level 16 if you're really very advanced at it. Some people are naturally good at things like Lionel Messi. God-given ability at football, the way that ball just sticks to his feet like a magnet, God-given ability. Not everyone has that, right? That's just pure skill. But then other people, other footballers, they're not necessarily skilled, but they've just worked so hard. Like they're just workhorses. Every day, putting in the effort, week after week, day after day, getting the results through pure effort rather than just having that built up skill set or that God-given ability that other people tend to have. So when I ask the question, how much effort do you need to really put in? How much work equals success? You should be asking yourself, where do you stand with the other factors? Because if you already have a lot of leverage, if you already have a good skill set and you've got luck on your side, you don't really need to put in an awful lot of work to get a good result. But if you don't have a lot of leverage, if you come from a family that hasn't got connections, you haven't got CEOs in companies that can look out for you, investors that can look out for you, if luck doesn't seem to be on your side today, and if you haven't got a lot of skill set built up, you're going to need to put in a lot of work to get the result that you desire. So there's 2 ways to look at this. One way is, okay, cool, put in as much work as possible because I've got to put in that work because I'm already at a disadvantage. The other point to look at it is, okay, cool, why don't I go for industries where I've got a competitive advantage? Why don't I go for something I'm already skilled in? If I'm good at maths growing up, why don't I look to go for something that's more mathematical, analytical, etc.? That would make sense given my skill set because I don't need to put in an overabundance of work to bridge the gap. There's no point, for example, me going into doing a makeup business. Why? I have no skill in makeup. I don't have any leverage there. I don't know anyone that runs a makeup company. I'm going to need a hell of a lot of luck and I'm going to need a hell of a lot of hard work to make it work. What's the point? I might as well enter an industry I've got competence in, I've got skill in, I've got leverage in. Social media, for example, I understand it. I built a personal brand with 30,000 subscribers. talking about social media advice. So if I enter an industry, it makes sense for it to be social media based. My own SaaS tool that I co-founded, Verlo, a social media AI tool. It gives me leverage. When I go to people and I show this tool, I say, look, I'm a social media guy. This tool can help you with social media. I didn't start a random company in sunglasses, for example, like a Ray-Ban's competitor. It makes no sense. I've got no leverage in that industry, right? So if you're sitting there asking yourself, how much hard work do I need to put in to get results? What industry are you going into? If you've not got skill there, if you've not got leverage, if you've basically not got people in the right areas to help you out, you're going to need to put in a lot of work. And some people want to put in that work, some people don't. So genuinely ask yourself, are you someone that's going to put your head down and work at it? Because make no mistake about it, no matter what you do have to put in work. But the more of the other factors you have, the leverage, the skill set, and the luck, the less work that goes into it to succeed. And that's not me saying you don't need to work hard. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But at the same time, I could work hard for 15 hours every single day for the next 2 weeks. If I 1v1 a 7-foot guy at basketball, he's going to beat me, even if he doesn't put in the work. Why? Because he's just taller than me. He's got that skill. He's got that leverage. I just don't have that, right? So you've got to look at the cards you're dealt. You've got to look at the position you are on the chessboard and make the right play. Now, your play, the play you want to make, may need a lot of hard work. That might happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. But be prepared to put in that work. And when you look at others and they are succeeding putting in less work than you, don't be sitting there thinking you've messed up. You're just sitting there thinking, okay, cool. They've clearly gone into an industry they've already got some kind of leverage or expertise or skill in, because that's all it is, right? It's a bridge, it's a gap. So those are the four equations that make that formula, right? The skill, the hard work, the leverage, and the luck. Those four factors will determine how successful you're going to be. The funniest thing is, out of all of them, hard work is the only one you can really determine, because leverage, a lot of the time you build it from birth. Like if you've got good connections, you come from a wealthy family, or you build up leverage over time with hard work. Skill set is skill set to a certain extent. Some have it, some don't. And if you don't have it, you build up through hard work, and luck is just luck. So the work you put in basically helps determine the other factors, and to a certain extent helps determine how successful you're going to be in a certain industry. So hard work does matter, but not in the way you think. Remember, you're the only person that can make it happen, but you are also the only person that can mess it all up.